right, what is up, guys? So I have an exciting video here. What I've decided to do is go on a journey, and I want you guys to come with me. What we're going to be doing is getting set up on Apex, and we're going to try to pass an Apex eval account. Now, I've never done this before, but this is going to be the first time, and I'm going to record every single trade and show you guys, and we're going to document the entire journey. Now, to preface a little bit, I am extremely busy with my agency that I run. And then also I'm getting a dog this week. So my life is going to change in that sense. I've heard that in the puppy stage, sometimes you're waking up in the middle of the night, you're losing sleep a little bit at first, especially. So that might happen. So I'm going to show you guys my dog that I'm getting. I'm getting a Doberman, really excited about it. And we're going to see how this goes when it comes to trading on Apex and if I can pass the eval as my first account ever. Let's get started. Cheers, guys. All right, so I have not placed any trades via Apex recently. And I'll tell you why. It's because I got a dog yesterday, and it's a great dog so far. Absolutely love him. It's a Doberman. I'll show you in the next clip. And I've not placed any trades via Apex because of that. But I didn't want to, get set up on a new platform and trade when I didn't really get much sleep last night, and I just got a new dog, so I just have life stuff going on that's preventing me from trading. So I'm going to trade tomorrow. I'm going to get set up tonight, and then we can play some trades tomorrow. In the next clip, I will show you my dog and my boy. So yeah.
Roy, come, sit. Paul, in between. Yes. Sit. Good boy, yes.
All right, so I was actually trading via AMP futures on a personal account previously. And what I really liked about it is that you can just plug into TradingView and just trade via TradingView. For me, it's just super simple. I ended up buying a Rhythmic account the other day, a 25K Rhythmic account, and that was good. But the problem is that I have to get set up via NinjaTrader. And so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to use this account, my Rhythmic account, on NinjaTrader, but then I think right now I'm just going to buy a Trade of 8 50K account and use that on TradingView. So I'll have both. Yeah, so I think prefer that vendor a little bit more just because I can plug into TradingView for now. But yeah, it's just easiest for me to kind of get started.
All right, so let's get into it. This was one of the first few trades that I took, and we have here a classic pitch and catch. So price was in a downtrend. It quickly just popped, and I noticed that it was starting to cool off. And so I sniped that entry. This was a great entry. And by the way, I also set up bracket orders. So I had my stop loss, my take profit, and I decided to just trail those along to maximize my profit, which really worked out in my favor. And it's something that I'm continuing to do even now. But guess what, guys? This trade was actually set up on a demo account. So I signed into Trade8 with my just regular email, and I didn't know that you just had to sign in via the Apex login, and that's it. But yeah, this was actually via a demo account. So I was trading, believe it or not, for a few days on the demo account. This is just one of the trades that I'm showing you guys here, and because it was just a great setup and trade. But yeah, this was just a demo trade, and I was just kind of testing the markets, testing the buttons on TradingView. All right, so here is a trade setup where I noticed we were in this bullish trend. So I was like, okay, let's get into it right now. It looks like price pulled back, and I put my stop loss low enough, and guess what? My stop got tagged out. And then I was thinking, okay, let's go short here. So I started going short. That didn't work out. And then I was like, okay, actually my original thesis was correct. Let's get back in on that. And I decided to go long here. So after kind of messing up with the entry, which is something that reviewing these trades actually is really helpful. Reviewing these trades have shown me that actually my entries are not as good as they could be when the original idea was correct, but the overall execution just didn't work out. But overall, this trade did work out. And also, here is my dog. Beautiful Doberman. I love this guy. I named him Roy. Beautiful guy. And yeah. All right, so here is the next trade. So here it looks like I thought the top was in, so I started to put in a short right here. So yeah, I moved my stop down so then I could just trail it. So then I would be in the money no matter what. However, this trade works out. And yeah, overall, this was a pretty good trade setup, closing around $700 something there. And overall, that was a good setup. All right, so here is also something that is key, which is that if I take a couple of losses in a row, it's just, I need to call it a day because clearly I don't have a hand on the market and I'm just going to keep revenge trading and it's just not going to go well. So I just need to learn when to call it a day. This is just crucial. And also you can set on Tradeovate, you can set your max loss for the day and it'll basically just kick you out so then you can't even trade anymore on the day. All right, so here we have another trade where I noticed we were in, we had this bullish momentum. So I just hopped in on that momentum, tried to get a few points. And that's exactly what happened. Moved my brackets up and I got stopped out in profit. All right, so with this one, I started recording on my phone because I didn't want to start recording on my my screen recording software just yet. Reason being is because I was busy. I was busy looking at Bookmap. I was busy in the trade itself. I didn't feel like hitting record until I could finally move my brackets to a proper spot. So once I did that, that's what you see here. And this was a big money trade of mine. And this was, so far the best trade that I took in, just trying to pass this whole, eval. So by the way, this whole video was actually over an hour long. There were tons of clips, tons of other trades, some that worked out, some that didn't, days where I just, I took a couple losses and just quit for the day. There was a lot of that. I decided it's kind of boring. You guys probably don't want to see that. And, you're not going to want to look at that. So I decided to cut that out of this video. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to keep, some of the major learning lessons in. One of the, like I said, so the biggest learning lesson really is just, if you take 2 losses on the day, stop, just come back tomorrow. All right. The market is still going to be there no matter what. You're not going to miss out. It's okay. There's always a trade setup. Usually every day has some type of trade setup where you can get in. And if not, then you don't have to trade. Another thing that really helped me was just moving my brackets up. So with trading on Tradeovate via TradingView is very easy to do this. I don't think it's as easy on other platforms to necessarily do this, but on TradingView, it's very simple, very easy. And this overall helped me a lot when it comes to just, earning way more than I could have. For example, I would have already been out on this trade had my TP already just been hit. Instead, it's just a little bit easier to just keep moving it along. Just keep going with the trend, right? The trend is your friend. Just hop in, have some fun, see what happens, and just go along for the ride. And that's basically what happened with this trade. And you can see here, I'm already up over, let's see, that says, 3K, 2.9K at this point. And I get to the point where, I'm thinking, should I just call it here? Is this where it stops? Am I being greedy at this point? And I'm basically having that internal monologue of, am I being greedy? So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just stop it. And then so here I open TradeZilla and I refresh, and you can see here I made a nice chunk of profit on the day to pass the challenge. And you see here on TradeZilla that I only traded those 3 days. In reality, I actually traded over a week of trading to pass the challenge, but most of it was on the demo account. And here you can see I have the account certificate. So anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. I'll see you in the next one.